there. I'm Holly McDonald with the OC Pod, where we discuss all things concerning the lifestyle, businesses, and activities that make our area such a great place to live. Today, I am with Todd. He is like a local celebrity with Ocean. I'm so pleased to have you here to share a little bit more about Ocean, what you guys do, and how, you support the community. So, Todd, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here.
Thank you. Let's talk about Ocean. Let's break it down. What is it?
Ocean is Orange County's largest professional networking group. We've got about 175,000 members, most of whom, 90 some odd percent, live and or work here in OC.
Gosh, that's way bigger than I was thinking. That's quite the network that you've made. So how and why did you get started with doing this?
It started a million years ago, back in 2007. I was doing a lot of contract and consulting work, and you'd get recruiters calling from Iowa or someplace saying, hey, we found a project for you. It's a great fit. It pays well. And it's right next to you in Oxnard.
No.
Because they saw greater Los Angeles. And if you live in greater Ames, Iowa, it's an hour from side to side.
Yes.
And I said, hey, is anybody interested in a group just for us here in Orange County? And some hands went up, and away we went.
Okay, so when you first started, I am curious. I know it was about almost 20 years ago. Wow. It started out kind of small. And
Yeah.
How did it take off? I mean, obviously 2007, we're leading into like the Great Recession and everything. So I guess people maybe wanted to network a little bit more than
People wanted to network a little bit more. We were growing, and it went from 50 people to 100 people to 300 people to 500 people, and it's like, wow, this is fantastic. And we were growing at a pretty steady, reasonable rate until COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
After COVID, people were desperate for human contact again.
That's true.
And then we went from 300 or 400 new members every month to 10 to 12,000 new
Oh my gosh. Wow.
My email service provider said they were going to shut me down because I was clearly scraping email addresses.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I had to, point out to them, it's like, look, our bounce rate is really low. Our spam complaints are zero.
Yeah.
We're clearly not scraping.
Yeah, you were just filling.
I have no idea where these people are coming from, but I guess they, I'm a search engine guy, so I guess they found us.
That's how I found you initially. Yeah.
And yes, we were just, people wanted human contact.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And I mean, it's slowed down to, a couple of thousand a month now. But yeah, it continues to grow, and I'm still baffled.
Well, and actually, I wanted to touch a little bit upon this because you can fill me in. I know I've been to some of the mixers, which are fabulous, by the way. And that's a big part of what your organization, what you do. But is there like a job board or any, for all the people that are not coming, 175,000 people don't come every month?
Well, we've got the LinkedIn group, and we've got about 19,000 pretty active members there.
Okay.
We've got people who just subscribe to the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I've got a team of developers adding some new features that we're hoping to roll out by the end of the year.
Nice.
Including a job board, because I do send out surveys. Hey, how do I continue to add value? Because you can't just be static.
Well, and technology has changed, and social media has changed so much since you started.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of new features that we're looking to roll out.
Yeah.
And in fact, somebody sent me a note this morning. Hey, I tried to add myself to the business directory, because we've got a business directory, and it didn't work. That's because the engineers are working on it right now. That's so. Hopefully that'll be back up in its improved state in a few weeks.
Well, so nice of you to have organized all of this. I mean, clearly something with that many people that are, getting the email lists and blasts and everything, that is essentially someone's full-time job.
Unfortunately, it is my full-time.
Yes. But, so you have to obviously have a passion and a drive to want to do that. So are you just like really big into helping people?
I am.
Yeah.
You know,
I know, you've got a big heart.
well, no, I mean, it's completely selfish. You know, enlightened self-interest.
Okay.
So my wife and I live here in Orange County. We plan to retire and die here in Orange County.
I think most people, yeah.
So we like nice restaurants. We like nice roads. We like the arts. We like having all of these things that Orange County has.
Yeah.
But those things require a healthy tax base.
A healthy economy. Yep.
And a healthy economy to support them. So the more we can do to help keep that going, we benefit. I would say, you know, I've got a sports car with a 2-inch clearance because I'm a middle-aged guy and that's what we do. And I need paved roads so I don't bottom out every time I hit the road.
Well, and I know we talked a little bit about how we are both from the East Coast. That is so cool. We have a Jersey connection. You're from New York. So I think there's a couple of interesting things there. First of all, potholes. We don't like them.
Nope.
That's why we moved here. Secondly, I mean, New York City, like that whole area has a lot of like the arts and the fine restaurants and the things to do. And Orange County has that too. It's just in a different climate.
Yes. With a little less crime, which is nice.
Yeah, it's less congested and it's newer. But I mean, there's a lot of differences, but like some of the core components are there.
Yes.
So I think that's really interesting that you ended up here. What brought you here?
My wife and I were on the East Coast, and she turned to me one blustery December morning and goes, "I'm tired of winter. How about you?"
Okay.
Yep, let's go.
Love that spirit.
So I had lived in Redlands briefly as a kid. My wife had lived in LA briefly. My wife has some family out here, so it was like, okay, let's go. Done.
How funny. Okay. I moved here towards the end of college for an internship in LA and thought it would just be a 6-month, like, I'm just going to go there, do the internship, get some experience, go to New York.
But then you found the beaches out here versus the Jersey Shore.
I found so much. I mean, I moved here January, I think it was January 3rd, and it was like 75 degrees.
Yeah, and people are wearing hoodies at 75 because
and we were going to the beach because we were like the East Coast kids. We're like, we're just gonna go to the beach now. It's January, it's hot, and then May hit, and I was like, what happened?
Yes,
I had no idea about May Gray, but it was still fine.
But still, it burns off.
It was still better than the weather was back east.
Yes.
So, and then also it was just like a cool lifestyle switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different vibe here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it sounds like you moved around a little bit. So, and you were from a kind of a larger metropolitan area.
Yes.
So having connections here was probably like very important to you.
It certainly helped.
Yeah. Like outside of work, like
Yes.
you wanted to have a social circle, which makes sense to do a big networking type of thing.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it certainly makes it a lot easier to find people to go out to dinner when you've got 175,000 people on your mailing list.
Yes. Well, and also, I mean, it makes it more fun to plan parties because I know you've got your birthday.
Yes. That's coming up. Yet another year.
Yeah. Another year to be grateful to be alive.
Yes.
But you get to celebrate in such a cool way with so many people.
Yeah. So the October event is both the 18th anniversary of Ocean. And since my birthday is just a couple of days after that, typically sort of glom onto that. So I get to, every year I get to say, hey, for my birthday, I threw a party for, 250 of my closest strangers.
Do you feel like, so, I mean, obviously with 175,000 people over the years, you don't know everybody, but who do you get to know? I mean, you are a social butterfly at these events.
There are people who are there every month and you get to know them. Yeah. I always say that networking events are great. They are not a place to develop that deeper relationship with somebody.
It's kind of just an intro.
That's your intro.
Yeah.
But if you find somebody you're clicking with, hey, let's go grab coffee. Let's go grab lunch. let me grab my wife, you grab your husband, let's
Yeah.
go grab dinner. And that's where you take things to the next
Yeah.
stage of, I don't want to say relationship,
Yeah.
because that when I'm bringing my wife and you're bringing your husband, that sounds weird, but it's where you're developing a deeper connection.
Yeah. Well, people end up doing business or referring business to people they know and trust.
Yes.
And so that's like taking it to that next trust level, right?
Yes. I mean, I've got there's a company that has sponsored a couple of times, and I know them. I know, the stories about their kids,
Yeah.
and they know the wacky tale about my daughter, and we move on from there, and we're friends.
Yeah.
More than just business associates at that point.
And I do think that that's an important thing to note, because like in my experience with networking, more so I think earlier on, it seemed like it was a checklist thing. Like you have to do it.
Yes.
Whether I'm in real estate or when I was in TV production, it just seemed like, oh, but this is just what you do to like keep business coming. And it seemed like a fake chore almost,
Yeah.
like it was so inauthentic. But obviously through maturity and like hearing more from people like yourself about what you take away from it, or like it's more so about like growth and what you give back in a way. Like I go to your events and it's not about me finding a client. Like I bring a friend and I'm helping my friend who's either looking for work or who they need contacts, and like they're not confident enough to do it on their own, or they just need a little bit of like a hype person,
Yeah,
and
right.
that is really fun,
And I love doing that. So, I mean, half of my job when I'm doing these things is, I introduce, hey, who are you looking to meet?
Oh, that's a good question.
And then, great, I just spoke to somebody who does that. Let me grab you by the hand and drag you over and make that introduction.
Yeah. I know, not to cut you off, I was just curious. So I know you do have the vendors that are at the networking events.
Well, they're sponsors. We
Sponsors, sorry.
Yeah.
That's a better word.
Yes.
And I've met many of them. They're all really nice and great and everything. Do you have like a huge line of people that want to do it? Because you've got a huge list.
We do, but I am the world's worst salesperson.
So you're always open for more.
So, I mean, we usually have close to our limit, but we usually have some tables open. And if I have a table open, I'll sometimes reach out to a nonprofit and say, hey, here's an unsold table, take it.
Oh, wow.
I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to hopefully not lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
But any profits that we make, we donate.
Yeah. That's
So
incredible.
it's really about how do we add value to the community. So, I mean, the networking events, we charge $20. So if you're
And there's wine.
and there's cheap wine. There's cheap wine. We're not breaking out the Dom Perignon or the Cristal. It's there as a social lubricant more than anything else. But we charge $20, which is because on the 1st of 2025 we raised it from $10, which we had been at for 17 years. We charge our vendors, or the sponsor tables are $349.
Yeah.
Because we want it at a price point where small businesses can afford it. This is not a, hey, how do we gouge every penny and make this profitable? It's, like I said, we try not to lose money. And if my wife is watching this on live stream, she's going to complain that, how much are you losing on? No, we're not losing. We're breaking even.
But are you charging for your time? But no, we won't talk about
I'm not.
I know you're not. That's what I'm joking, because like your time is so valuable and you obviously put so much time into these events. So I think
it's
people
quite a
need to
bit,
know that.
but it's worth it. It's fun for me.
Well, I love that it's like an additional outlet for you. And I mean, what is your business?
I'm a digital marketing guy. My background is highly technical SEO.
Okay.
So my clients tend to be billion-dollar multinationals. You sign others that are under NDA. I can't, but that size of client.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know who you're going to meet at these things,
Yes.
but how many people typically show up? Because they always seem like they're at least a couple hundred, probably a few hundred.
Yeah, it averages between 150 and 200.
Yeah.
The anniversary, we will be at capacity.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure.
because, you tell people there's cake, they show up.
Yes, it's true.
But yeah, it's, but we average, around that, because more than that, first of all, it gets really warm.
Yes, it's hard to hear.
Secondly, it's really hard to hear. Next year, we're in negotiations for a larger space,
Okay.
so we'll be able to hopefully serve more people.
Does it? So I've been to a couple and they've been in different locations, but do you typically try to stay in one location for like a set period?
Yeah, at least we try to stay in one place for a year.
Okay.
Rather than, okay, where is it this month?
Yeah.
Here's where you show up. And every time you move, that first month,
Yeah.
you get some drop off of people who just can't find it.
Well, the ones I've been to have been like one, great parking, which is key for a lot of these things.
Yes.
And also just like good spaces, like
Yes.
not too spacious enough for a couple hundred people for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. And that's always a challenge when you're trying to, okay, how do you get this and not have it cost $20,000-$30,000?
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
So-
it's the size of a wedding.
Yeah.
Every
So,
time.
yeah. So, we're fortunate that we've had some great partnerships with our venues.
Yeah.
I mean, even previous venues where we've outgrown,
Yeah.
still have great relationships with them. It's like, okay, how do we continue to be good partners for you, even
Sure.
though we've moved on?
Well, I think that's part of the beauty of the networking aspect for you is like you're making a lot of connections, you're growing them over time. Obviously, a lot of people don't stay in their jobs as long as they used to, so they're constantly looking. A lot of industries
Yes.
are changing very rapidly, so sometimes you just need to move on. So it's great that you can put a lot of people in the same space and help them connect.
But that, we have so many people that even if you say, well, I'm looking for something and I'm in a really niche industry or something like that, odds are if we don't have somebody at the mixer, I can probably still find somebody to introduce you to.
I do have one other question for you. I've noticed, and this is a very limited knowledge scope, but it seems to me that there are less of the younger generation coming out to these types of events. Maybe they're just drawn to a different type of event. I don't know. But what are you seeing, and why would you tell them that maybe it would at least be worth putting on their radar?
I'm actually starting to do a lot more outreach to that younger demographic. A lot of them are networking online, and they're networking in different ways. So it's like, okay, do we add different types of events for that demographic? For example, last week or week before, I was guest lecturing at Cal State Fullerton to their entrepreneur class and saying, okay, here's how to network.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because if you're networking with your peers, that's fantastic. I want you networking. I don't care if you're coming to Ocean or not. I want you networking. But if you're trying to start a business and your market is not exclusively your peer group, you're going to have to interact with the old fuddy-duddies like us. So come on out and, here's how to interact with our age bracket.
Or guinea pigs.
Yeah. And great. So if you are a student and you want to come out, great. I know students are poor. Usually I'll have, it's like, give the professor, here's 5 comps. Just send 5 of your students as long as they're over 21 because we've got wine.
Yes. Oh, and they can help out with you do a great job on social, but maybe they'll get you on TikTok or something.
Yeah. I've got some interns who are working on that now. and they're doing a great job.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, well, first of all, I think it's great that you're like pushing it out to them as well. I think that I mean, we could probably all go on into a tangent on technology and how it has changed the way people network, some for the good and some for the bad. But if you don't have the communication and human skills when you're working in any industry that requires human communication, which there still happens to be a lot of it. Yeah.
I mean, soft skills in general are sort of underdeveloped, especially with this generation that has grown up during COVID.
I know, yeah.
They lost this whole, even interacting with their peers.
Yeah.
I was reading a study that, even dating in that age bracket has sort of broken down because they're afraid to talk
Not surprised.
to other people in their own age group. So it's like, yes, that's not exactly networking, but it's still learning to talk to people.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It would be a very sad, quiet world if people aren't communicating. Well, and you're from New York and I'm from New Jersey, so I think we have the gift of gab.
We're a little more vocal than most, yeah.
That's amazing. So aside from the big anniversary party, birthday party coming up, is there anything else that you want to share? Do you guys do anything around the holiday time or anything?
In the past, we've sometimes partnered with Toys for Tots or one of those. We've said, hey, come bring a can and food during the holidays. We'll donate that to a food drive.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the great thing about having a reach of this size and scope is when we've got something, we can sort of activate the army of people. And, as I tell people, I don't care what nonprofit you support, just support one. And it doesn't have to be around a holiday. It doesn't have to be financial. If you've got a weekend free, most nonprofits are struggling, not just for cash, but for volunteers, for anything. So go volunteer. Go volunteer.
Well, and even, I mean, you can find a lot of events there's obviously like volunteer websites. There's also Eventbrite. We'll put some stuff out. You're on Eventbrite too, which is, of course, something we're going to have to link so that people can get on the regular list.
Actually, we hadn't been using Eventbrite for a while. We've got it just on our website.
Just go to the website.
Yes.
It's been easier.
theoceanwebsite.com. We try to make it easy.
Yeah. Well, and I'm on your email list, so you make it really easy. It just comes and it's like, oh, okay, a reminder. I can just buy the tickets now. Yep. You can buy them at the door too, but isn't it a little cheaper, I guess?
It's cheaper if you buy it in advance, and for the October event, because we may be at capacity.
Yeah, you will be for sure.
Yeah, we may not be able to help you if you come to the door. So,
well, Todd, I mean, you do such a great thing for the community. Like when I reached out to you, I said, like, your network is just it surpasses like anything else that's out there in our area. Probably rivals most of California in general. So.
It's. Like I said, I'm still baffled by it every week when I look at the numbers.
Well, I think a lot of it is the intention behind it. You said it's not really like about you, which is great.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no joke here.
No, it really is about the community and how do we support the community.
Yeah, and we're fortunate. We live in a great area. It's nice to keep it great, keep the people here happy, working, thriving.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is fun.
Thank you for doing this. I'm so excited. I'm sure October is going to be amazing. I just think people should come check it out. It's
I hope you'll be there as well.
Yes. Yeah. I told him about the event. He needs to get out there. All right. Thanks, Todd. Right.
Thank you so much, Holly. And again, theoceanwebsite.com. Come on out.